You know, ladies and gentlemen, on my mind, I'm really thinking about the American people and the people of the world. American people have experienced a certain type of lifestyle for at least the past 70 years. Good and bad, bad and good. But they've had a certain amount of liberty to do what they have been doing. And all of a sudden, this crooks, I mean real crooks, have come in and undermined what was going on. Now, if I asked the Democrats if the Republicans, if Donald Trump and the Republicans are corrupt, they would say damn straight. Then if I turn around and ask the Republicans if the Democrats are corrupt, they would say damn straight. So I'm asking, these two don't even like each other. So they are both scrambling for power. When whoever wins is not trusted as far as the lives of others are concerned. So you got a quagmire going on right there that's getting you no place and doesn't make too much sense to me. So I say to the Republicans and Democrats, if everybody else except you are corrupted, and then those of you who are independents can sit back and look at it and you see all is just corrupted, nothing but corruption. So you should ask yourselves, or you think one might ask themselves, how is it that we can live a life that represents a life in the midst of what we have acknowledged is corruption? We see corruption because we know that everybody wants to live a satisfied life, and we see so many people that's not living a satisfied life. And yet we see many people that, can live several satisfied lives when they are considering what they use to determine if they got access to a satisfied life, and that's money. You got a man in America, some people call the richest man in the world, or richest man in America, I don't know, he's richer than we are, who is doing things for America and I understand is receiving billions of dollars from you, the people, for his service to America. And somebody has given him or wants to give him the authority to be able to make decisions about our lives, about us who are paying him. And the information that has been given is that he wants to make sure that whatever is required to meet his needs is made available, which might require that our needs, as few as our needs are great, but as far as having them met, will be slashed. And all of that coming as a result of corruption. Corruption. Service who you are paying to render a particular service to you who will not, who will do what they want to do and still get paid. And you have to accept this. Doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat, it's the same old story. And all of this because you refuse to accept the fact that there is a God. You refuse to accept the fact that there's a God. White people in America, many of you know exactly what evils you've perpetrated on this nation and the people of this nation. Some of you don't because you haven't been given the information. Doesn't mean anything except the truth exists still. And it's pathetic. It has destroyed this nation. It is why we are here at this point today. And you still do not want to make the necessary changes. Rather than make the necessary changes, you'd rather say it didn't happen. You'd rather say that the people who claim that it happened are out of their minds. So what we need to do is burn all the books that might give any kind of reference that this stuff did happen. We need to make sure that the type of education, the curriculum that have been given to our children must be changed to reflect our victory. Our victory meaning we who have the privileged, we who are white, we who love God, we who know that God is white. This, my friends, is what has been put before you. And you're expected to yield. But God has said to you, and I'm going to share it with you again. Who made the earth? You don't know. You know you didn't. As far as you know, no human being had anything to do with it. But the earth is something that's magnificent. Is it not? And think about what the earth brings with it. Out of all the stuff that it brings, it also brings resources. Resources that can be used and is used by human beings. People like us, human beings, use these resources for food, for clothing, for shelter, for education, for healthcare, for transportation, for infrastructure, for building spaceships, for building flying cars, for everything. Those resources came with this earth, not by our hands, but by the power of the same that brought the earth. Yes, my friends. So that we, my buddies, who came to this earth, on this earth, benefiting from this resource, from the resources of this earth, from our first breath to our very last. And we are blessed to not just be here, but have a yearning, a urging to do something that is necessary. And in our doing as individuals, it gives us our greatest joy. It makes life worth living to be here to do that which gives us our greatest joy. And it lines up with peace, prosperity, and freedom, and happiness. And it allows us to live our dreams. Yes, my friends, this is what we are doing. Look at the richest man. What does he do with money? The same thing that anybody else does, maybe more of it. But say he is dealing with space. He's dealing with things that many people, most people of the earth, don't deal with. Okay, let him have available everything he and others like him need to do the things that have been determined are essential for our, and make sure that whatever he needs money for, he never need it again, because he has access to anything determined by him, need, want, and desire. The richest man on earth, living in a system whereby he can do all the things that he's ever dreamed of doing. And then living the life that he's always imagined, nothing preventing him from it, having access to. You think that would be good enough for him? Let me ask you this. Let's take a brother who didn't have a job, but now finds that there's something that he can do, that he can actually do that the people need done. And let's find something. Let's say mowing a lawn, making sure that the grass is cut, the weeds are trimmed, and the leaves are picked away. That's making sure that manicured, the whole extra, what do you call it, the yard. I'm just trying to make it something small, ladies and gentlemen, but very important. Might be just doing the yards for older people, whatever it is, but he loves it. And where he renders the service is the best service you can possibly get. But it's just not that service that you get from him. It's that service that is given by anybody. And guess what? They do this. They meet a need. And everything that they want in the society, need or desire, they have access to it. Why? Because they participate in the creative process. And everybody that participates in the creative process become part owners in everything that is produced. So you don't need to buy anything. All you have to do is get it. It's yours. And who is yours? Everybody. Everybody. The ditch digger. The man who was president of the university. It doesn't matter. You're doing what you love doing. And nothing is preventing you from enjoying the pleasures thereof. That's how God designed it for you. And in that process, you know God designed it for you. You didn't. I didn't. This doesn't require any lie. It doesn't require any cheating or stealing. Doesn't require any hate, any racism, any bigotry. Doesn't require any of that stuff. Doesn't require putting people down. Not requiring that someone is better than another. Not any of that stuff. And you're living as if you are in heaven. And for some people who can't even imagine what that's like, maybe you are living as if you're in paradise. Now, I would come to you as I have just now to tell you, before I would let Sriki Swami, whatever that name is, talking about whatever he's talking about, before I would let some dude named Musk, who have played in the game and ripped off everybody. Now, what I mean by ripped off everybody, the services that he's rendered, I'm not knocking that. That's a God-given gift. And he is taking advantage of a system that has permitted the robbery. So he's just in the game. I'm not trying to make him worse than the game. No, he's just in the game. And this is how he profits from the game. And as he profits from the game, this is what happens to us. You find people getting in power talking about, oh, you get Social Security, cut that down. You get food stamp, cut that down. We're going to put you back in the fields. You don't want to work for $2 a day like you used to, but we're going to take care of that. You know, that's the kind of conversation that they have amongst themselves that we don't suppose to understand. But I'm telling you, they didn't know that God was real. And it's taking this opportunity for us to show them that God is real. Because what they are trying to cut, we are going to increase. We're going to make sure that everybody got a job of their own choosing. We're going to make sure that whatever they need to do the things that they got to do, they have access, food, clothing, shelter, all of these things, ladies and gentlemen. It is our duty and responsibility to make sure that nobody suffers. And if they do, it's our responsibility to get rid of it right away. We are the doctors of this society, not people like Trump. These people just, look at Putin. I just mention Putin because, you know, he's bombing people, you know, tearing up their infrastructure, killing babies and old folks. And other people are doing it too, but I just mentioned him because he wants to be mentioned. He wants everybody to know that he's doing it. And Trump wants to be just like him. And he wants to use the American people for this. But American people are waking up. American people got some black people. Black people in America who have finally realized that the white Jesus is the one that permits Donald Trump and MAGA and those folks to do what they've been doing. The white Jesus is the one that allowed them to have slavery and to beat people down and separate the kids and lynch people. It was the white Jesus that permitted that. So the Jesus that is talking about love for everybody, that don't come from the white Jesus. That don't come from the white Jesus. That come from black Jesus. That come from black people. It come from black people to let everybody know that the stuff on the earth belongs to God, but it's here for all of us. See, the white Jesus didn't tell you that, but the black Jesus does. And why? Because you, my friends, are not a subject to anyone but God and one another. God and one another. In that order. Okay, I'll talk to you later.